What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel and welcome to another Godforge video. Today, super excited to have Simon on the channel, guys, and even more excited for the alpha, which is literally around the corner. Now, we have been waiting for a little while now, and we're finally gonna have a chance to dive into Godforge, guys, and basically experience the alpha. Now, for this, they are looking to basically collect a lot of feedback. If you pre-register before, you should be having an email, if I'm not mistaken. Check your spam and all that. But we're going to discuss more about it. What's up, Simon? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, man, so excited. Like, it's been a long time coming to get to this point that we can let players into the game and start to give us their thoughts. So, yeah, it's really exciting, man. Really exciting.
Definitely feels surreal, right? Like, I remember,
Yeah.
like, it's been almost a couple of years, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like,
It's
I'm
been
going
a
to do
couple
a
of
game. I
years.
was like, damn.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since we started the company. And then I'd say we've been making the game now for probably close to 20 months. So it's a long time, man. Yeah, it's like, it's so, I don't know, it's so much more depth and detail in making a game than I ever gave it credit for, honestly. Like, especially a game like this where there's just so many moving parts. So, yeah, dude, like, it's so cool. And honestly, I think we last chatted like maybe a couple of months ago, I think.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Or a month or two. Yeah, and so much has changed in terms of like improvements in the last month. So, yeah, it's exciting, man. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, like I've definitely noticed like massive changes in terms of improving even the graphics overall, the character animations, the movement in battles and stuff. And this is kind of like a never-ending type of work, you know.
Yeah, and this is it. Like, this is alpha, and you know, we're looking to do the kind of like beta. Probably not. So we've got 3 waves of alpha, right? We have 1, 2, and then like a competition wave. So within those periods, there's going to be refinement and some bug fixing, but really not that much like changing to the actual game for alpha. All of the rest of the changes are still going on in the background on like a different branch of the game. And the devs are obviously still working on features and stuff like that. But what we see here is like a moment in time of quality. But already, like, I already see evolution on what we're seeing here for the alpha in the main like branch, because obviously all of these things have still got refinement to go. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool just to see. For me, I'm quite a visual guy, and to see those like, you know, levels of improvement, iteration after iteration is just super cool.
Yeah, that's definitely something super interesting. And as you mentioned, I think there's so much freaking work going in the background to actually develop a game, because there's so many little things that need to be right, like starting from movement, face animation, then talking about all of the in-depth things like mechanics, economies, and every little color to match everything. It is like crazy. I can't even imagine how many things that are actually
yeah, and it's little things like, so, you know, if we go into, I don't know, like the ability screen, right, to level up abilities, and then if I go into like my upgrade, so it's little things like, okay, in certain versions we've got this working really clean, and, you know, like the sort of black mask comes right across. On Windows, because of screen resolution, it's not quite doing it. So it's all these little like tweaks that we need to still make to improve it even further. But yeah, most stuff is now at a point where, you know, we think it's strong enough to show people and to start to get some feedback on, which was obviously what we wanted from the alpha. So so yeah, lots going on. Honestly, lots that we can show. You know, all of the systems are working. Again, there's like levels of polish, like this screen here where we're upgrading skills. When we get to launch, this will be a much, you know, I guess more exciting feeling to upgrade skills rather than just like a fairly bland screen. But we just need for it to show what's going on for now. So yeah, there's a lot still to do, but honestly, from where we were, it's hugely different. You know,
it is. Yeah, I remember last time when we talked about it and when you were showing me, like so many things changed as well. You know, like even the maps and all of those images that you're using in the game, you know, like tons and tons of things that definitely got upgraded like really well.
Yeah, so, you know, leveling systems are working, ascension's working, as I said, abilities are working, gearing. So if I show you kind of like a champion with gear on now, so again, it's not refined to the level we want it to be for full launch, but we do now have the ability to, you know, do comparisons of gear, enhancements of gear, All of the stats are working correctly. All of the sets are working correctly. So for an alpha experience, I think we're in a good spot to at least allow people, the chance to see what we're doing and start to build stuff out. And there'll be a lot of stuff here which is like just feels familiar to players that have played this type of genre. So we're not like trying to completely change the genre with this game. We're trying to enhance it in ways where we feel like it'll just be more fun experience for players.
Yeah, and that's what you should do. I mean, you shouldn't change something that's not broken, right? And I feel like there are tons of gacha games out there, but if you're kind of like looking at each one of them individual, this one is missing that, the other one is missing that, this one has that issue. So people are kind of like not really finding that full vibe of a game. Like, okay, I want to stick with this one, I want to play this one because it doesn't have all of these issues. This is not fun, etc. So if you're working towards that goal of basically achieving that ultimate gacha game,
that's what we're trying, man. That's definitely the vibe. Yeah. So, I mean, in terms of the actual Caverns or, this alpha experience, the alpha experience is locked down to this Caverns, which is basically like a tower experience in a game. It's worth saying as well. So for the alpha, we will have PC, Mac, iPhone, and Android. So basically all of the different platforms, and you can play cross-platform already. So we've got our own launcher. You can play the same account on iPhone as you are on, PC or whatever. And,
nice.
You're able to already let's say it won't be for alpha because you won't have more than one account, but let's say you did. I could already switch account right now here for like my multiple accounts and still be playing on one device without needing to log out and stuff. So there's a whole bunch of like small quality of life stuff we've already got in. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, wave 3 of the alpha, there's going to be this kind of like competitive mode where people are trying to beat the Caverns, get down and fight Fafnir, who's like the final boss. And then there'll be like a maximum damage kind of competition for Fafnir for anyone who gets to it. And the winning, actually, the first 5 people will be flown out to Vegas and go to one of our investors, kind of like, he's got this like crazy miniatures museum called Verko's Vault.
I remember seeing that, actually.
Yeah, well, basically we're going to have this like diorama built with Fafnir in the Caverns, and then the number 1 player for the Caverns, his team are going to be like built into this like miniature diorama fighting Fafnir. So kind of fun. So that's going to live in Verko's Vault. We're going to fly 5 people out there to sort of check it out and have some fun with the Godforge team. So yeah, I mean, and outside of that, people that take part will get some rewards and some cosmetics for when we launch. And like the top 1,000 players are going to get a unique skin and like unique portraits, and then the top 100 players again will get like more and more goodies. So lots going on that side just to make it worthwhile for players.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's very important for players to actually provide a feedback, because recently, for the last, let's just say 5+ years, people just jump into alphas and betas, just grind the game, but they forget that they're there to basically help and improve the game. So they tend to forget about giving some feedback, and then they're just waiting for the game to come out perfect without them actually providing any constructive feedback. So it's definitely very important for the players to actually share that. You mind telling us the dates as well for the wave? Sorry, I was going to ask you that before, actually.
Yeah, so the first one's going live on the 23rd of July. We would have sent emails out over the last week or so. So basically anyone who's already signed up for any of the previous like alpha or beta waves, they would have had an email. It might go into your spam, by the way, if you're watching this and you're looking for it. Just literally search in your email box Godforge and you'll find it. But within that, there will just be like questions of which wave can you participate in. So we've got one on the 23rd, basically runs for 10 days, and then we have like a 10-day period of bug fixing before we go for wave 2. Same thing again, wave 2, 10 days of bug fixing. And then the final wave is going to be in early September, and that's going to be the competition wave. And actually, anybody who signed up to any of our kind of like pre-sign up stuff will be invited to the 3rd wave. And for us, it's a bit of a stress test as well. Like, for that one, we want up to about 40,000 players to be experiencing the game and, make sure that everything we've got back of house is working as well.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be quite a bit of a jump, right? Because you have 5,000 players, 5,000, and then
It's going to be like 5, then about 20, and then basically free for all. Anyone who's signed up for any of them is welcome, type of thing.
Yeah, that's cool actually to see that. Handling and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just talk you through a little bit of how we built the tower before we go into a battle. So, what we've tried to do here for the economy of this, like, in effect, is like a mini game, because we don't have all of the normal dungeons and stuff open and campaigns and stuff. So what we've got is a 1 and 2 star challenge on every level. So the 1 star will just always be defeat the stage, and you'll get reward for that. And then the 2 star will be you need to meet a certain requirement, which gets harder as you get further down the tower. And that will always give you like an extra reward, whether it's like gold or experience, or maybe like an imprint of a character or a weapon, those type of things. So it'll always be like a juicier reward. And some of those we think people will have to come back to once they develop their account a bit further. So it might be that you kind of blast your way down the tower or down the caverns, and then, you know, by day 3 you might be saying, oh, actually I can go back now and do, you know, stage 21's challenge or whatever. So, and the way it's going to work is, for the final total for like the competition wave, it'll be the number of stars you've collected as a multiplier of your damage against Fafnir will be your like final score. So we want to encourage people to do both elements of it, like try and beat the caverns, but also try and you know, build different squads and stuff like that to be able to beat the challenges. But yeah, every stage has a different type of reward. So generally the 8s, 8, 18, 28, etc. They will be where you farm weapons for characters, and then the 9s will be where you farm the material to like level up weapons, for example. And there'll be certain levels where you get certain gear sets drop. So you can decide where you want to go, whether it's farming weapons, farming gear, farming experience, farming actual heroes, and you choose where you're gonna, you know, spend your energy to progress. So yeah, for me right now, this is literally my testing account that I've been running for a while. I'm on like stage 50 after a couple of days of testing, and this boss is really hard.
Is it, yeah?
So I've hit that wall where I now need to go back and like farm experience and level up my dudes to be able to progress further. But yeah, I'll show you a fight here, and you know what a battle looks like right now. So it gives us like a auto replay feature. Yeah, so go on.
No, continue, and then I'll ask my question after.
So, you know, some familiar things like leader bonuses are active. For the tower specifically, or for this alpha, we've changed everybody's bonus just to work. So, you know, what we're seeing here won't be final game stuff, but, you know, we've got HP, we've got speed, we've got attack, depending on what you want to do. And, you know, we've kind of got, I guess, some cool mechanics in the game, which would be familiar to people. Maybe I'll take it off auto for a second and just sort of show you what's going on. So, you know, we've got heroes that do things like defense down. We've got people that have got like ally attacks, that type of stuff. We've got AoE hits, which you've got a chance to place things like acid. So acid would not only be like almost like a poison tick, but also would burn through things like shields and like defensive buffs. So we tried to make some of the debuffs just have like dual purposes to make them a bit more cool.
Yeah, that's actually interesting, yeah.
So you see there, the acid just took all these guys down. And then everybody's like gaining an ult meter as we're playing. So everyone gains their ultimate or their divinity by doing different things. So this dude, for example, would gain divinity if he makes a joint attack. And I've actually got Aphrodite who can set up joint attacks with her ability. So
yeah, I've noticed that already.
Yeah. So you've got like synergies within your team, which can play out. You know, I've got someone like my Ramses here gains divinity when he kills someone. So he's just killed a couple of people, which means his divinity has gone up a chunk. Actually, let me just share because that's behind you. But yeah, it's so that's the type of stuff we're doing. Like ultimates, we want to feel, you know, so you can use an ultimate whenever you want. My game's just bugged.
And in terms of like enemies, bosses, you've tried to fit most of them in, even their bosses from like dungeons or something else, or this is kind of like mainly just related to the actual Caverns game mode?
So we got 2 unique bosses for the Caverns, which is going to be Fafnir, which is a dragon, and it will be like a golden guardian. So 2 with like full boss like skill sets. And for us, our boss fights are going to be kind of like phased, if you like. So the bosses will move from one phase into another. If you think almost like World of Warcraft style raid bosses where you need to like think about more than one set of mechanics.
Yep.
And then for every, so they'll be on like stage 30, 60, 90. So in every 30 levels, there's going to be like a big boss like that. And for any other stage 10, there will be like a mini boss, which is basically one of our heroes ramped up to be just stronger. So
that's cool. And in terms of economy, like if players, for example, want to play all day, will they have like resources unlimited in terms of like energy and stuff to grind it as much as they want? The heroes will be automatically unlocked, or what type of system you guys are planning for the alpha on this?
Yeah, so for this, what we were thinking is if you progress a level that you've not done before, you don't burn any energy. So basically, if you keep progressing, you're not going to use any of your energy store. If you fail a level that you've not been able to do before, you do not lose any energy. So we want to encourage people to be, enhancing their guys and going back at a level that perhaps they've not tried before to try and beat it. If you go into a farm point, so let's say this level here now for me, floor 44, I could go into auto replay and just have it as like a farm point. This is the only time I'm going to be actually using my energy. So there'll always be a chance for you guys to play as much as you want to, providing you're progressing. At some point though, if you just go to a farm point and farm like all day, that will burn your energy down. But then we do have quite a fast refill going on energy as well. So really for us, we want people to play as much as they want to play, but if we just gave unlimited energy, whoever's sitting at their computer for the longest basically on farm points will just win. And that's not fun either. So we wanted to try and balance that out, but we don't want to discourage people from coming into the game and playing. We've got this other thing as well, in terms of just health of people playing. We don't want to expect people to play all day long, right? That's just generally in the game. Obviously the alpha's a little bit different, but well, it's not that different, honestly, like in terms of our theory of how much we want people to play. So we kind of got that in mind. We didn't just want to give people unlimited resources, because it encourages people to just no life the game for 10 days, which is actually quite a lot of time. But I was chatting to someone the other day about it, and I was like, I think what's going to happen most likely is people will probably go quite hard in the first few days, a couple of days maybe. Then they'll hit a bit of a wall and it'll get tougher, and then they might go quite hard towards the end of the taverns, also the caverns, because they want to try and hit like a leaderboard, or just like test out some of the late game stuff. Let's just turn off auto battle a sec. Yeah. What we've done though in terms of economy is we've got like a curved progression in terms of difficulty and that type of stuff, and your rewards, so that right the way up to around level 140, we're going to have these kind of like challenging things to overcome, right? So and you're going to have to be building up your different heroes and stuff to be able to do that. But when you get right near the top and actually beat like level 150 Fafnir, we're going to have that drop like a lot of cool stuff, because we want people to be able to experiment on 151 with different teams. So once you've hit 150, we're basically like, well, you've beaten the normal, almost like the normal mode. Now all you've got left is heroic mode, and we want people to have the tools to be able to, basically not say, look, I lost because I didn't have this hero, I wasn't able to experiment properly because I didn't have Heimdall or whatever. So we want people to be able to have that option, providing they can beat the higher level stuff. And therefore, like if you beat 150, like you're probably going to get 1 or 2 legendaries drop every time you beat it. so that you can go in and start to do stuff like the imprinting. So, you know, it's one of our systems here in, I'll show you a couple of sides to it. So you've got like the library of imprints. So this is an imprint of Minotaur here, which I won. It dropped for me from the Caverns, and this gives me more damage on like a strong hit. But I can also extract an imprint from one of my guys that I don't want to use. So, you know, if you get a number of legendaries drop, let's say I get a dupe copy of Aphrodite drop, I could rip her imprint out and put it onto a weapon. So her imprint here, allies gain a 1% turn meter when inflicting damage to an enemy. This doubles if you've got speed up and initiative up. So, like, these imprints could be quite impactful when you're starting to try that min-maxing for boss fights. But yeah, I could extract an imprint. This works. Then will become part of my imprint library. And then on my weapons that I'm gaining, again, I'm kind of low down in the Caverns for my test mode here, but I can, you know, flip it over, add an imprint, and then I can now put her into a weapon.
Into a weapon, yeah.
Yeah, and the weapons have already got like a mini passive, or we call it an implicit, but then you'd also now add the imprint of that hero onto the weapon. So you can start min-maxing like quite cool builds. You know, you've got stuff which would empower if you're using certain debuffs, or, you know, basically it's like, how do you... I'm really interested to see where the community go in terms of this like theory crafting of, you know,
I mean, you have a lot of options, so that's cool, yeah.
Yeah. And this is just the alpha, where we're going to have like just under 70 heroes in play, whereas, you know, full launch we're going to have just over 200. So yeah, lots more to come from this.
400, huh?
Yeah, 200 heroes. Yeah. We've already got like basically all of them are at least in 3D modeling for the 200. So it's it's bonkers, man. It's it's a lot. There's a lot to, as I said earlier, a lot to do, a lot to kind of, you know, be involved with, but it's super cool.
100%, man. Like, yeah, looking super pumped. I'm looking forward to try out the alpha. You know, guys, I'll be grinding it. I'm definitely gonna be doing a live stream on the first day, you know, and probably the second too. But we're definitely gonna grind it. Check out characters, check out systems like the gearing and everything else, you know. So make sure you guys subscribe, because we are going to drop tons and tons and tons of information on the game. I've been looking forward to it for quite a while now, so yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's as I say, it's super fun to finally be able to get it in front of, you know, players and start to get some of that feedback, and also, you know, stuff which feels good. Like, I guess we're not really touched on it, but we've got. Oh, actually, this dude's still broken. We've got like different camera views available for players depending on how they want to play. So our default is this kind of like cinematic style view, but you know, we've taken some feedback on in terms of some people would rather have this kind of like isometric view. Some people really like the kind of like ethereal view that's going on right now. So we've got 3 different options, and for us it's going to be interesting to see, you know, which option people tend to use.
Is being used the most. Yeah, I'm curious to see that as well, actually, because I've seen quite a few people out in your comments, you know, on some of the videos about the camera. So I'm very curious to see which one they're picking. Would it be fun if they would all be picking the initial one that you had, you know?
Yeah, well, I would say, like, the more we've been working on it, because obviously you have to, people saw it in his early life, and then, you know, it was quite jarring.
Yeah, not polished. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the more we work on it, and the more we work on things like lighting and abilities and stuff, I would just be interested to see what people think. And it might be that, you know, because when we activate it 3 times, we don't have it on right for the alpha, but when we do, we will definitely pull people back to this view anyway, because it would be too much, and we'd reduce some of the animation stuff. But yeah, I would say I think if people give this view a try, they will enjoy it. Like, it's just more in the mix of the combat, and obviously when the enemies are taking a turn, we come back behind the team now anyway. So, you know, that feels just a kind of a bit more natural, a bit cleaner. But yeah,
I think people are used too much with games where the characters don't really do a lot of movement. You know, you're just basically seeing the screen. Even like in Raid, if you think about like, let's just say you're doing Minotaur, you just see the characters running on the map, just killing, and that's about it. You know, like you would watch basically a movie rather than playing a game. You know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased with where we've got to so far. Like even on this map here, like a new map that's come in, the lighting still needs like another pass and that type of stuff. But I feel like what we've developed, so I put a slightly stronger team so we can actually see Leonidas fight a bit. I was trying to not just overpower it, but
yeah.
Let's try this. Yeah, things like the lighting and stuff, it makes such a difference, you know, and you know, some funky stuff with UI and things like that. But even for us, like, there's been a couple of moments in the last month where things just have felt better. We pulled the enemy units in like 1 meter on the map, so you can just see them more clearly, and you get like a better visual of them. And that for us has just been like a massive moment, you know, in terms of the quality of the feel of the game, because we know the models are good. Like the models have been made really well, but they just felt like they were, you know, 1 meter further back. They felt like they were kind of like blurring out a bit. So yeah, just little things like this, like all of the polished stuff is what makes the difference, honestly.
Oh, 100%, man. Like even the animations. I think the very first game mode or the first battle that you were showing, right? It's been months and months ago, right? The one in the desert. Like even the animations evolved so much since then. What they don't feel as sluggish and stuff, you know. So
yeah, and even then, like, so talking to the animating team, they can't wait to go to like the next stage of polish, because you know then it kind of like ramps up another tier. But I mean, yeah, just to get it even to this point now where it feels kind of strong, it feels good, is nice, you know. It's,
100%.
Yeah, so we're getting there, man. We're getting there. It's
that's good.
It's cool.
People are excited,
it's
you know. Like everybody's pumped. Like every day I'm seeing it in my comments, bro, on the Raid channel. Like, my God, can't wait for Godforge to come out. Can't wait to get this fusion done, for them to nerf it, then I quit for Godforge. You know, like that's all that I'm seeing in my comments. You know, so people are definitely really pumped. And one more question before I let you go. How are we gonna get the characters in game now for the alpha? Are we gonna have them all available basically to pick, or we're still gonna get a bit of dopamine of summoning and stuff like that?
So there's no summoning, but
no summoning.
There are drops. So in effect, it's kind of like summoning. On every level, there's a percentage chance. It's almost like, imagine an ancient shard. So
correct. Yeah.
So for every level, there's a percentage chance that you're going to get the equivalent of an ancient or a void shard just drop, and that will automatically then summon the hero for you. Yeah. So you'll just get heroes, and obviously the further down you go, the higher chance you've got of getting the rarer heroes and the better heroes and that type of stuff. So you know, you get those dopamine hits down the line. Also, some of the boss fights give you like a guaranteed epic or legendary for beating that stage. So again, from a pool of epics and legendaries. So that's going to be the kind of mechanic around heroes. And as I said, like when you get right towards the end, those drops, the drop rates increase a lot, because we want people to have the ability just to do like team comps and play around with stuff. So yeah, anyone who's kind of like grinding it right down to the bottom will basically be able to get all of the alpha heroes super easy. Not super easy, like it'll be hard, but you will get a lot more of the drop.
Get to experience most of them, which is definitely good, because you kind of like want to keep a bit of that dopamine stuff in there, you know, rather than just handing them all over, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
At least they have like another goal to work towards, rather than just let me be the content, you know. So that's that's gonna
honestly,
keep
like,
them more engaged.
Yeah, I've had a couple of moments. So what we've been trying to do with building the difficulties, like, okay, me and Sham are quite like hard into this, and Saf as well. We're like, right, at what point can I run to before I have to put a piece of gear on? Right, so that's like our first thing. And then it's like, right, and at what point can I run to before I have to go and like develop my hero and level some gear? And then at what point can I go to, like, there's all these like steps of, we need people to engage with the systems. So if it's too easy, it's boring, and you know, we need these like roadblocks. So as I said, like I've got to stage 50 here now, and I've got at stage 50. This was basically like my first day of playing, really. I've got like some 3-star heroes that will need a decent amount of food now to be able to like level up to 4-star. So, you know, I can go in and start leveling up my food type of hero. So I might need to go and farm more experience to be able to do it. But ultimately, you know, I'm collecting either heroes to use as food, or sometimes you get these spirits drop as a currency as well. Which is basically like a chicken.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Every game calls it differently. Shadow
Prince,
they all have different currencies for them. You know, I'm always, when I'm playing a new game, like I'm always like, can they please give a damn law for all of these games to use the same freaking names? Why you call an epic legendary? Why you call a legendary epic? You know, and just use the same freaking name and like, people
for
be
sure,
familiar
man,
with
for
it,
sure.
you know?
Yeah, but yeah, so basically, I'm in a position now where I need to start really invest in leveling up some of my fodder so that I can then empower my big guys more, because as it is right now, you know, I'm going to stage 50 and even with my best squad out, I'm struggling, right? It's
getting hammered.
And these guys have all got gear on. They're all, you know, relatively strong for the level I'm at. I think out of the team, I'm like first or second in terms of who's progressed furthest out of us.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, when I've got all of my abilities ready, we're not too bad. A couple of these guys doing pink things, which will be fixed before alpha. Yeah, it's just. But you can see, like, these guys now start to hit pretty hard.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage.
Yeah, so the guys that are literally like glass cannoning for me are getting wrecked.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, wave 1's going to be done, but I've lost 2 of my team.
Yep.
And
wave 2 will put you down, don't worry.
Probably wave 2 will put me down. If it doesn't, then the boss is going to absolutely put me down. But yeah, so but this is good. Like, level 50, I've hit a bit of a roadblock. Now I need to go back and do some, you know, grindy stuff and get better gear and enhance my gear and all that type of stuff, so that, yeah, it's not just a cakewalk. We don't want people to just be in there and be like, oh yeah, day 2 I'm on level 151. That would be terrible. That'd be a terrible experience.
And you're gonna collect feedback in your Discord, right? You're gonna have like channels set up. I'm gonna link their Discord, guys, just by any in case if you are not in the Discord by any chance. I'm gonna link it in the description or the pinned comment. So feel free to join the Discord, and that's where you're basically gonna be able to provide feedback of your experience, if you notice bugs, etc. Right?
Yeah, there'll be specifically like bug reporting channels for different platforms. So whether it's Android, iOS, whatever. And there'll also be just like different parts of game feedback. So whether it's you know, stuff related to the hero roster, you know, visuals, the experience leveling people up. There's a whole bunch of stuff we already know. Like, we will have, for example, like a quick upgrade button that will give you, you know, all of this fodder turning. Yeah, like, so just literally, I don't know if you played like Watcher of Realms and stuff, but where you can just
a lot
be
of
like,
games they have it. I know what you mean.
But that's not in for the alpha. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of things which is just feedback on stuff that we already are planning to do.
Yeah.
It's just not in yet. But yeah, there'll also hopefully be some feedback around, you know, if something doesn't quite make sense to players, or doesn't feel smooth or feel good, or, you know, things which they feel like are missing. All of that type of stuff is helpful for us, because you know, obviously we're into this all the time. Like, we don't sometimes. You don't see it. Yeah. For all the other stuff you're doing. So, yeah. But no, we're in good spot, man. It's definitely an exciting time.
Absolutely. Guys, we are getting super close to it. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. Check out their channel. They will provide, of course, more information by the time the first alpha wave will be released. And Simon, it was a pleasure to have you on the channel, man. And
thanks.
Discuss about the game,
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, looking forward to seeing how you're getting on with the Caverns as well, dude, when it comes through.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome.
I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Stay safe. Peace.